All right, so today we're gonna do a little vocal tuning here in the studio. I have this vocal track here that has not been touched. It's just kind of the raw track, and I need to go through and kind of get this tuned up. So the first thing I like to do is go in, and I'm actually going to make another track right below it. Make another mono track. So I'm just going to hit Apple Shift in, and then I just want one mono track. The reason that I do this is I like to have my processing on a different track and then feed it back into the master. The cool thing about that is if I say I listen to this vocal,
I created you to be my people.
so you have a pretty nice, she's got a great voice.
You my own, said I'd be your God.
But what I can do is come in, and as I'm listening to that, I can tell that, I'm going to need a little bit of EQ on her. I'm going to pop back here to where she's kind of singing a little harder.
There's no power of
So we got a little plosive thing, so we got the lows. So I'm going to just knock that out right around probably 80. We'll see what it sounds like.
that can stop you. There's no power of darkness.
So you can kind of hear that sound. I think it's like right around here.
There's no power of darkness that can
Right there.
stop you.
I'm just going to pull a little of that out, and then some
There's
sharp.
no power of darkness that can stop you.
This is all kind of preliminary, just a little touch up here. Cool thing is I can go ahead and throw on, I'm going to put in a new track here, a new stereo aux track, and I'm just going to call this V vocal for a reverb. Going to use, I just need something simple for now, just to give it a little air for right now while we're listening.
When I'm by your side, I'm by your side. I will do wonders.
I'm not being real specific with this. I just want to have some kind of a little bit of breath on that. What's this?
When I'm by your side.
So yeah, that's cool. All right, let's go ahead and put a compressor on her.
When I'm by your side.
Just gonna do like a 3 to 1.
I'm by your side.
I like to have a fast attack on this and a little bit. I'm just trying to catch those when she gets loud.
Now let my healing surround you.
I want to try and get some of her S's out, or like the S sound. So I'm gonna use this de-esser. I'm just doing a quick little processing on the.
I will do wonders among you to stand up.
All right, there's a good one right there.
To stand. I need you to stand up in the fire.
So I can hit the side chain and actually just listen to exactly what that is. So I can change the frequency to see what I'm adjusting. There we go. And there's different modes too. I can do that's like a specific on the frequency that I'm on, or I can do kind of a shelf thing to where it affects that frequency and everything above it. Let's see what that sounds like. So I'm going to go back to the audio.
I need you to stand up in.
It's just a little too hard. Don't want to give him a lisp.
I need you to stand up in the fire.
It's just a little bit too much of this stuff right here.
I need you to stand up in the fire. Darkness that can stop you.
I'm going to compensate for the amount that we're bringing this down. It's usually like 3 dB. If we're reducing 3 dB, you can kind of
There's no power.
You can see this little yellow thing. If it's moving down towards 3, that usually means that it's attenuating at about 3.
There's no power of darkness that can stop you.
Cool. All right, so that's good on that, and I can kind of listen to.
There's no power of darkness that can stop you.
So he's got some other instruments going on. I'm just going to try some of that.
There's no power of darkness that can stop you. When I'm by your side, I'm by your side. I will do wonders among you. Now let my healing surround you.
Cool. Okay, so that's good for right now. I just wanted to set that up so that I could show you in this method. I can actually process the vocal, have it kind of sounding cool before I do my tuning. That way I kind of know what I'm doing, and if that changes any of the tuning, because I want to hear what it's going to sound like in the final, it might give me a few steps that I'm able to save. So I made this extra mono track right below here, and I'll just do Vox tune. And what I want to do with this is change its output. Since it's a mono, I'm just going to send it through a mono bus. Any of these is fine. 35, and then I'm going to change the input of my main vocal track. I'll recolor it yellow. Yellow is good for vocals. I don't know why. All right, so we'll do that, and I'm going to change the input of this track to 35, which is my bus in that I use this other one at. And then now what I can do is if I put this in the input mode, it's going to listen to whatever's on this track down here. So I'm just going to take the first few lines of this, drop it down, or I can option click and do that, so I'm not doing anything to the original track. Also, that reminds me, I do want to do a duplicate on this, so I don't, when I print over this, I want to be able to go back to my original vocals. So I'm going to duplicate, and then just call this one tune. Cool. Now if I want to go back to the original, I just have to change playlists. What we'll do now,
I called you my own. Said
so what's cool is I can play this, and
I called you my
if I change the input monitoring,
said I'd be your God.
we're hearing the same thing, so we can audition our tuning. So cool. Okay, so now I'm ready to put on Melodyne onto this track, onto our Vox tune track. So I'm just going to put this on the first insert. Go down to Celemony Melodyne. Cool. When you open Melodyne, it kind of gives you a little startup screen here. I'm just going to make this big so I can kind of see what's going on with my vocal track. Okay, so I can close this, and yeah, so this is Melodyne. The cool thing about it is you just select what you want to transfer into Melodyne. It records that data into Melodyne, and then makes it to where you can make adjustments. So you just have to hit this transfer button, and then you play through what you want to transfer.
I created you to be my people. I called you my own, said I'd be your God. I will never leave you or forsake you. I'm right where you
So that went through. Now it's just going to kind of give me a an overview of what we recorded. As I play this back, now that it's into Melodyne, if I do anything to this original track, if I mute it, say I mute it like this, or let's just delete it. If I play back, it's actually playing back the data that it sent to Melodyne. So just remember, if you change something in your file, if you've already transferred it to Melodyne, it's not going to make an adjustment. I'm going to put that back so I know what I'm doing here. Cool. So there's a few things in Melodyne that you can change around the amount that you see. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take this, and I can do like a select all, and it kind of shows you, you have your keys over here, your notes that these things are falling on, and the average, this red thing is kind of the average energy of where those notes are falling. So it's kind of the straight lines that you can adjust or whatever. And then you go into edit. If you go into edit and there's these pitch grids, if I were to move this right now, it would stay on this grid. So it kind of moves it chromatically. So it kind of moves it. If I want to move it like just a little bit, it's going to jump to the next key or the next note. That's not what I want. I want to be able to make fine adjustments. So I'm going to go into edit and go to the pitch grid, and this is giving me the options on what it's supposed to be snapping to. So right now it's snapping to the chromatic thing. I don't want that. I want it to be able to just be done by hand. So I'm going to hit no snap. Now when I go in and select something, I can make final, or like make little bitty adjustments. Another cool thing about Melodyne is it previews where your cursor is at. So if I select this, oh wait, that's the master tool. First I need to select my pitch tool. So I get this by just right clicking, and then I can select my pitch tool. If I move back and forth, it's kind of previewing where that note is hitting at that point in time. It's pretty cool. Nice. So she's got this little slide. I'm just gonna, which is fine. Kind of just a little slide in. I'm gonna maybe start her on a note. I created you to be my people. So we can see this one's a little flat. So I'm just gonna push this up. The key to doing this is knowing what to change and what to leave, because you don't want it to sound like a robot. I mean, at least not in this song. But also you want it to be not distracting when there's a little bit of variance from what the pitch should be. So I'm basically going through and doing as little as I can, but also just to make it better. I created you to be my people. So you can be as big as you want, but for like this, see how it kind of starts down, and see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah. So this is kind of starting down, and then it kind of bends up. In Melodyne, a really nifty way to get through this is if you right click, it gives you all of your tools here. So main tool, pitch tool, formant tool, amplitude, so if you want to change the volume or the timing, or if you need a note separation. Note separation is pretty cool, because like if it for some reason thought that two notes were one, you can go in and separate that to change where it happens. But basically what I want to fix is how this goes. Go the other way. How this kind of goes up like that. With that, I'm going to use the pitch drift tool. What that's going to do is even out the start and the end. And to change it, I just click on the note, and then I drag up or down. And there we go. I created you to be my people. pretty good.
I created you to be my people.
So what I like to do once I know that the that phrase is good, or at least for now, I'm going to, down here in my track that I've got my stuff on Melodyne, I'm going to go ahead and bypass that, or not bypass it, but select after it. So now when I'm starting to listen, it's now starting on the new phrase.
I called you my own, said I'd be your God.
So that last note's just a little flat, and I'm going to change the drift.
I called you my own, said I'd be your God.
I'm going to touch this one up a little bit too.
I called you my own, said I'd be your God.
So just for an example, I want to show you what the over auto-tune. The other tool in reason that didn't undo. The other tool in Melodyne is this pitch modulation. So with this, I can actually take all the vibrato out of it, and this would be.
I called you my own, said I'd be your God.
So you can hear how that's the, if you play video games, you would know that's the Portal sound lady. Oops. So I'm going to go in and undo. But yeah, so that's kind of the sound that it gives you when you over auto-tune.
I created you, I called you my own, said I'd be your God.
So it's a little flat here, but I like it. You know, it's like it's got the natural sound to it. That phrase is done, so I'm going to click in front of this. So now I'm starting.
I will never leave you or forsake you.
Just going to fix this guy.
I'm right where you are.
Cool. So that's good. So I'm going to keep moving here. Just doing minimal stuff.
Right where you are.
So this one's got a little bit of weird stuff. Now here's where you got to be careful with what you use, because there's different things going on. She's holding the note, kind of sustaining here, and then starts some vibrato here. I'm not going to be able to treat that the same way. So what I'm going to do is use my note separation. I'm going to separate the note right there. And go back. Oops. Yeah, that's what I want. So now I've got two notes.
I'm right where you are.
So like that, you can kind of see where things are changing. Another trick too is a lot of these bends, a lot of the bends that you'll see how it's coming down, and she has a little bit of vibrato there. And then it goes straight and then into some more vibrato. You can actually cut the note right before that happens. And then you can get away with a little bit more stuff. So I'm going to take some modulation out of this.
I'm right where you are. I'm right where you are.
So yeah, that's pretty good. So I kind of evened out this because she dipped a little low on that part, and then kind of leaving that there.
I'm right where you are.
I'm gonna zoom out a little bit.
I'm right where you are.
So this note's a little off.
I'm right where you are. I'm right where you are.
I'm just gonna bring that average up, and I want to take a little bit of this out. It's pretty vibrato-y, but it's okay.
I'm right where you are.
Cool. So now that we've got all those phrases pretty much touched up, all I need to do to get this back into our main track is hit the record button on the main vocal track and then hit record by Apple spacebar.
I created you to be my people. I called you my own, said I'd be your God. I will never leave you or forsake you. I'm right where you are. I'm right where you are.
Cool. Now we've got that. Now we got that done, so we can basically listen to our main channel. You see that all of our
my people.
All that's done.
I called you my own.
I'm gonna go to the first one.
I called you my own, said I'd be your God. I called you my own, said I'd be your God.
Yeah, better. Cool. All right, so I can keep moving. I'm just gonna go grab a few more phrases here. You can do this different. I mean, you can do the whole track at the same time if you want, but I like to kind of focus on the thing that I'm doing at the moment. I'm going to option click and drag down here. Put this back into input mode. Excuse me.
I have come to take.
Now, if you look in Melodyne, since we haven't transferred that yet, there's
There's
no information here. So we need to transfer. The transfer button.
I have come to take off every limit. I need you to stand up in the fight. There's no power of darkness that can stop you.
Cool. So that's going to transfer. It's going to translate into this. Now we can see our stuff. And you can see I'm not really messing with a lot of the vibrato. The key to using this in any kind of tuning software is to first use your ears. You know, don't watch this stuff as it goes. You know, use your ears and see what it sounds like. See if you're feeling what, you know, was intended, you know, because sometimes a little bit of out of tune, like if it's not perfect, sometimes that's the expression, you know, like you don't want to take the expression out of everything by making it mechanical. Once you kind of notice something that you want to fix, you know, that's when you start using your eyes, you know, like it's great that we have all these tools that we can see these visual representations of the audio, but if you don't use your ears first, then we're skipping a step. So same with EQ. You never look at an EQ and say, "Oh, that looks like it sounds bad." You know, like that's the wrong way. You have to start with your ears, then you use the tools to make it sound the way that it's supposed to sound, which includes some of these visual representations. So yeah, that's a good that's a good way to make sure that you're not overdoing it, because I could come in here and, you know, double click every one of these, get them exact, and sure, it'd sound fine, but I don't notice that they're out of tune. You know, when I listen to it, I like the way that the natural sound is, so I'm going to leave them. I might have to come back later and do some more adjustments, but for now, I like the way that it's rocking. Cool.
I have come to take off every limit.
That phrase is good, so I'm going to move on to the next one.
I need you to stand up in the fight.
So this one's a little bit flat.
I need you.
A little sharp there.
I need you to stand up in the fight.
Okay, so this one might need a little bit of touch up here. I'm gonna look at this.
In the fight.
So there's a little bit of a drift. I'm gonna change the modulation just a little bit, and I'm gonna change the drift. Kind of get that.
In the fight.
So it just kind of evens out the vibrato because there's a little bit of a dip in it.
In the fight.
And it might be hitting a little bit too hard, but I'm going to leave it for now. I can always come back. The way that we're doing this, I can come back and make changes later once I get the song mixed. And if I notice some kind of artifact or something from the tuning, I can fix that later.
I need you to stand up in the fight. There's no power of darkness that can stop you.
Cool. I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I didn't do much to it. There's a little bit, I can see that there's some stuff that might be a little bit off, but I don't hear it, you know, so I'm just going to print it. So I'm going to hit the record button on my master track for the vocal and just...
I have come to take off every limit. I need you to stand up in the fight. There's no power of darkness that can stop you.
Cool. So that's printed. I can come back and just listen to this.
I created, said
So this is our
I'd
tuning.
be off every limit. I need you to stand up in the fight.
If I go back up to the original.
I need you to stand up in the fight. I need you to stand up in the fight.
Cool. So yeah, it's sounding good. So anyways, that's basics, the basic way that I like to run through. So that I'll go through the rest of this track, and there's some other little things, but that's a pretty good start on kind of how to process your vocal, like how to tune it after you've got the processing on it, and preserve all of your original take, and make this kind of a lossless format. So anyways, I'm going to end that here. If you have any questions, or if you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe to this. I've got a bunch of how-tos coming out, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. If you have any questions or any suggestions on how to do this better, because I know I'm not the master at this, so always a fun learning experience to see what you guys are doing. Thanks, guys. Peace. Later. Have good times.